Happy Wednesday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Wednesday, August 16th, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? May I please have the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread? First card that we are starting our day off with today is the moon in its reversal. Truths coming to the surface right now. What is this new moon energy bringing? Revelations, understanding, deeper levels of clarity. This could be a lot of clarification in terms of situations and circumstances happening in the tangible space right now, or this could be on a more metaphysical level, coming to a point of understanding, reaching some point of insight, or potentially even epiphany energy as you proceed forward from this point. We love seeing this coming through as our first card for today. Grand rising to everyone joining us today. Second card we have coming through right now in our 5-card spread for today is, we have here our 5 of Swords in its reversal. And what we appreciate about these 2 cards in combination right now is that we're really seeing that this is a point of easement. This is looking back at past situations and circumstances and allowing some point of clarity and insight to help propel you away from anything you don't necessarily feel is aligned to you at this time. And this is that point that we're recognizing may be feeling somewhat bittersweet, because while we are seeing that there is a point right now, there is a lot of this unsettled energy from the past that may be rising up to the surface right now. This could even be getting a lot more clarity and insight on situations and circumstances from the past in order for you to feel like you can navigate from these points without necessarily having to go back to spaces or places that may have been creating any sense of disparity or conflict right now. Let's see if we can get our third card in our 5-card spread for today. Third card that we are starting our day off with today. We've got 2 cards coming out for our center spread, and that is coming through right now with our 3 of Wands in combination with our Page of Pentacles in its reversal. This could be a moment of assessment. We've been seeing this coming through right now with our cards of the day, looking at situations and scenarios, looking at the opportunities there, having that point of calibration in terms of where you want to put your energy right now going forward and where you might feel you need to pull it away. But what we really appreciate at this time is there's a deeper level of commitment and focus right now in terms of the long-term path and the long-term goals. This could even be requiring you to have some points of adjustment right now in terms of what those goals or that path forward looks like right now. One of the things that we have noticed coming through right now with this Venus in retrograde has been feeling some state or place of overwhelm. We've been seeing that there has been a bit of this surrendering energy, allowing oneself to come into a point of surrender, specifically around circumstances or situations that are becoming a bit too heavy to bear at this time. But what we appreciate about this work that we're really identifying at this time is this is allowing you, this shedding to a certain extent, this recalibration is creating that path forward so that you can see what is going to be on the horizon potentially for the next 3 months or so. And all of this is coming through from a point of deeper clarity and a point of deeper understanding. That is some of that surrender energy that we saw coming through not once but twice recently with our card of the day. Now, our 4th card coming through in our 5-card spread for today is, we have here our Knight of Swords, and this will feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, we're seeing that this is a moment of renewed vitality, renewed effort, refocusing on efforts, moving forward with a lot of speed and capacity right now, rushing into some of the spaces and places that you're now seeing this level or degree of clarity. And for masculine right now, what we really appreciate is this is a moment that is creating this sense of understanding to help you see what that path ahead is going to look like. And for the masculine energy, we really see that this is motivating you at this time as you do these plans, as you get this clarity going forward. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are also either working in collaboration with masculine energy, that you are identifying and seeing this same clarity of purpose, this same drive, this same attention and speed that is motivating you at the same time. This could even be getting a lot of that deeper insight coming through right now around circumstances and situations for feminine as it relates to where things are going and what kind of clarity you need right now. A lot of positive signs in terms of conversations and coming through a point point of closure at this point. While for the other part of the feminine collective right now, what we're really identifying is this is a moment that you yourself are feeling thus motivated as you work to manifest this type of energy for you at this time. We are also seeing that there could be some recalibration right now in terms of your own feelings of the energy directed towards you from masculine, wanting to come from that state of clarity, but also seeing and putting a lot of care and attention into whether the energy is providing that level or degree of clarity that you are effectively seeking at this time. Fifth card right now for our 5-card spread before we start getting clarification on these cards right now is we have here our 7 of Wands, which we like to see because what we're really seeing is this is a commitment towards the task at hand. This is a commitment towards that path, towards that point of energy. And what we have also appreciated about this is a commitment in towards of what you are willing to fight for, what you are willing to push up against. For masculine and feminine energy, there's a lot of renewed purpose and renewed conviction that is coming forward at this time. And it is propelling you forward as you work to defend those things that are most valuable for you at this moment. For masculine energy, what we're really identifying at this time is this is that renewed level or degree of ambition and drive at this moment as you rush forward in these spaces and places to lend your support, to really show your own conviction and energy at this moment. This is coming through right now for masculines in terms of getting some level or degree of clarity at this time. And it's also making a point of easement for the masculine energy in terms of what they feel is actually coming through at this time versus what they may feel is creating any sort of blockage. While for feminine energy right now, we are seeing that this is a moment that you are either working in union with masculine energy at this time. You are seeing this drive, you are seeing this motivation, you are seeing this level or degree of conviction. And this is giving you either support at this time to continue to fight for these partnerships, to fight for this point of union, to defend what is really truly important for you at this moment, because you are feeling that shared equal conviction of purpose at this moment. While for the other part of the feminine energy right now, this could be feeling a little bit more adversarial to a certain degree, because what we're really seeing right now is as there is clarity that is coming around circumstances and situations at this time, you are paying a lot of attention to the direction of the energy that's providing that right now, whether this energy is moving swiftly to provide that clarity of understanding, to provide that point of insight, and that is helping the feminine energy determine what energy they're effectively allowing in at this time, where they are going to be putting their own purpose and conviction as they proceed forward from this point. Now let's see if we can get more clarification on these cards right now. Clarification between our Moon card in its reversal in combination with our 5 of Swords in its reversal. So a point of clarity, a point of deeper understanding rising to the surface right now, which is allowing a point of easement, making things easier as you proceed forward from this point, getting that level of clarity, getting that degree of insight. But this is really helping, again, some of that clean slate energy that we saw that we were looking at right now for this new moon in Leo. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with Ace of Cups in its reversal. This is addressing some feelings or positions right now of emotional or spiritual exhaustion. You may be feeling right now that there are some spaces and places where you are feeling somewhat drained. You are feeling somewhat depleted. But what we appreciate right now is there's a lot of clarity in understanding the why, getting to the heart of the circumstances or situations. And this may be feeling right now that some of the truth that's coming through right now could be feeling a bit emotionally overwhelming. You're working through this state of overwhelm is what we see. But again, it is that point of clarity. While it is potentially overwhelming, it is also helping you as you navigate forward from this point, which is what we really appreciate seeing at this time. Now, continuing to get clarity on these cards right now between our 5 of Swords in its reversal in combination with our 3 of Wands in combination with our Page of Pentacles energy. So looking right now with a lot of care and concentration towards the path ahead at this time, laying that groundwork for what that long-term plan and path ahead will be. For masculine and feminine energy right now, there is some point of readjustment or recalibration at this time that we are effectively seeing, recognizing how you need to effectively move forward at this point to allow for a state of easement. And we are also seeing here that to some extent right now, this is potentially putting down burdens or putting things down that are becoming too difficult or too heavy to carry at this time. For masculine energy right now, this is some of that emotional or spiritual overwhelm that may be happening at this moment that is also creating some trepidation in terms of where to put your energy going forward. While for feminine right now, we are seeing that you are also similarly at a bit of a point of exhaustion, but potentially articulating to the masculine energy what it is that you effectively need to see at this time in order to feel safe, in order to feel supported, in order to have that point of stability that the feminine was effectively seeking over the last few days. And this is helping build this point of clarification right now as it relates to feeling like circumstances and situations have that pathway forward, they have that long-term direction and plan, or if these are circumstances and situations that effectively need to put down. Because what we're really seeing here is there's a moment or degree right now of truth really coming to the surface and a question or demand for the truth to help you determine whether there's going to be some kind of opportunity in these spaces or places not right now. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with, we have here our Two of Wands in its reversal. So these are addressing any hurdles as it relates to plans, as it relates to communication. This is a lot of moment right now of trying to get some clarity as it relates to some of these blockages right now. And it is the clarification of these plans or path moving forward that is really helping determine what feels like it is productive, what is allowing for that degree of planning and motivation going forward right now versus anything that you feel you haven't seen that effective movement on, you're not necessarily seeing the communication that you would desire, that you may be feeling like it is a time to move away from right now because it's not building that sense of orientation in terms of how to go forward right now. But what we really appreciate right now is there's a lot of clarity that is coming through here that is helping you make that point of determination. Some of this new moon energy that is coming through right now that may be creating some spaces or places of feeling some exhaustion. Now let's continue to get clarification on these cards right now between our Three of Wands in combination with our Knight of Swords energy. So masculine energy is utilizing a lot of care and attention right now in terms of laying that path forward for themselves at this time. Really using this as a moment of observation and tackling that movement forward with a lot of energy and a lot of effort. A lot of work right now on the masculine side, potentially as it relates to what you are trying to motivate or move towards at this time. While for feminine energy right now, we see that you are also setting that plan or path forward right now, either in alignment with masculine energy, that you're still recognizing that same degree or capacity of alignment as it relates to that path forward right now, or working to manifest energy for yourself at this moment of masculine energy that is able to provide this level or degree of clarity to help you build that sense of stability and support moving forward right now. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Page of Pentacles in its reversal. What we are identifying, this is a card that we were receiving multiple times over the last few days, some feelings of overwhelm, trying to work through situations and circumstances that may be feeling like they are pulling you into different directions right now. For the masculine and feminine energy right now, there is some feeling of overwhelm as it relates to this work that we're doing. But we're really seeing right now for the masculine and feminine energy that is working in union, there's a lot of care and concentration on coming into a space of easement, trying to make it so that you don't necessarily feel like you are operating under different or through different balancing points, but integrating those experiences for greater clarity and easement going forward at this time. While for the other part of the collective right now, this could be that moment of feeling like you need to put down some burdens or some priorities for the sake of others right now, because we are seeing that this is feeling like to some capacity or degree a point of exhaustion that you're currently navigating or working through as it relates to what you are trying to do and how you are trying to do it, or even feeling like you're trying to do too many things at once. Now, Continuing to get clarity on these cards right now between our Knight of Swords in combination with our Seven of Wands. A lot of conviction coming through right now, especially around the masculine energy. A lot of driving to the purpose right now in terms of what is showing that clarity, where you're seeing that path ahead, and also building a degree and capacity of what you're willing to fight for at this moment. Potentially even feeling like you need to kind of push forward in these spaces and places right now to build this level of clarity. While for feminine energy right now, what we're really identifying as you're experiencing is you yourself are also working very hard to see that path ahead. Either working again in collaboration with masculine energy that is simultaneously aligned to you in terms of what that path looks like going forward. And this is building a point of mutual conviction as you fight to get this point of clarity. While for the other part of the feminine collective right now, this may have to be pushing back against masculine energy that may not necessarily be providing this point of clarity, but that is moving forward towards you with a lot of conviction, hence requiring some of that honesty that we see that the feminine energy is seeking at this time. May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Fool card. This is that moment of taking a point that it feels like a bit of a leap of faith at this time. For masculine and feminine energy, there is some understanding of doing things in a way that you haven't done them before, or taking some kind of leap into the unknown. For feminine energy right now, this is really speaking around your own convictions at this time. Again, either working in alignment with masculine energy that is similarly showing this care and degree of capacity and conviction in what it is that you're truly trying to build for at this moment. But recognizing that this is something that is going to require a little bit of pushback. It's going to require a bit of that like joint struggle effort, but also sharing that mutual excitement, if you will, in terms of taking some of that leap of faith energy at this time as you proceed forward from this point. While for the other part of the collective right now, this is that moment that we're seeing that if you're not necessarily in union feminine, this could be a moment that you're pushing back against some masculine energy that isn't necessarily providing this level or degree of clarity, and you're taking that leap of faith for yourself as you proceed forward from this point. But for all of the energy today, there is this moment right now of allowing one's internal purpose and internal drive to really push you into new experiences, new opportunities, things that you may not have done this before in the same way. This is some of that new moon energy coming to the forefront that we are experiencing today, which again could feel a bit of an emotional or spiritual exhaustion point, but is leading you into propelling forward into these new opportunities, into these new experiences as you proceed forward from this time. Continuing to get clarity on these cards right now between our Ace of Cups in its reversal in combination with our Two of Wands. This is feeling some point of emotional exhaustion right now around situations and circumstances that you may not necessarily feel are providing that level of clarity or insight right now. This could even be speaking towards some struggles that you may currently be experiencing right now in your own ability to plan, in your own ability to coordinate. But recognizing that a lot of this is a return to self-care at this time, because there is something here about feeling like this needs to be a reciprocal or mutual endeavor, and working right now on that degree of being able to address these from a place of feeling restored, feeling optimistic, feeling spiritually and emotionally supported at this time. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Hermit energy. So there is something very important right now to be spoken to as it relates to the sense of solitude at this moment. This is really requiring some moment of going inwards, a lot of deep moments of going inwards today to really ask yourself where your sense of spiritual and emotional support comes from at this point. Where do you feel like you are finding that level or degree of spiritual and emotional support at this time, versus any spaces or places that you may feel like you are seeking that level or degree of support and not necessarily seeing it. This is that inward journey that both masculine and feminine energy are taking at this time, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to really get a deeper understanding of what creates an emotionally and spiritually supportive place for you right now. And it is a bit of a point of difficulty because we're seeing that some of this is feeling like you have to do it very much in your own space or in your own place, having to do this internal journey right now, not necessarily feeling like you can kind of receive that point of clarity from the outside, even while some of this truth is coming in right now. Because we're actually recognizing that this is about going inward right now to adjust and correct for any of the blockages that are effectively stopping you in terms of your own ability and degree to communicate at this time, or even feeling like you're spiritually or emotionally supported in the process of it. But what we appreciate with this Hermit energy is this is that deeper journey. This is that deeper goal. This is that deeper understanding of the self that is coming into play, even as you take a bit of a leap of faith at this moment. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between double twos, 2 of wands in its reversal, in combination with our 2 of pentacles in its reversal. This is looking with a lot of care and orientation right now towards any circumstances or scenarios that are effectively feeling like they're becoming too overwhelming for both masculine and feminine energy at this time. And there's a care degree that is being paid right now into whether these experiences can be better integrated at this moment, or if they're going to continue to cause these types of setbacks and hurdles. But what we really identify and appreciate right now is the fact that the communication right now and the planning is key. This is overcoming any of those setbacks and hurdles by looking at what burdens need to be put down or adjusted or shifted to make a point of easement as you go forward from this point. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now. He was here yesterday, he's back today. We love to see it. We have here our King of Wands in their upright. So masculine energy right now is not only using a lot of conviction in terms of what they're trying to go for at this point, but they're also utilizing a lot of their sense of planning and inspiration at this time to help lay the groundwork to overcome any of these hurdles, to overcome any of these challenges, to overcome any of these communication setbacks that they may be experiencing at this time. Masculine energy is really operating, and it may feel a little bit difficult for the masculine energy today, because while you may be going through a moment of feeling some sense of a spiritual or emotional overwhelm, you are still riding out some of that Emperor energy that we saw yesterday, utilizing your ability to motivate yourself at this moment, and also your own creative inspiration to help navigate some of these setbacks and challenges. While for feminine energy right now, what we're really identifying is this is a moment that you yourself are also utilizing a lot of degree and capacity as it relates to whether the masculine energy is around you at this time and able to provide this point of clarity, this point of tenacity. Feminine energy is effectively asking things from the masculine right now, looking for those key points of insight, looking for those points of clarity around any circumstances or situations that may be feeling like they're becoming too overwhelming to bear, or that they're not necessarily seeing the type of communication that they would ideally desire from these points. Feminine energy is either right now working in unification with a masculine energy that has this degree and ability to help build this point of clarity and confidence going forward, or for the other part of the feminine energy right now, you are working to manifest this type of energy for yourself at this moment, recognizing where some of the hurdles are coming from, recognizing a feeling of emotional or spiritual exhaustion as it relates to the consistency and communication of plans right now, and also feeling a certain degree of being too overwhelmed with what you're how you're doing something right now, or what you may need to balance right now in order to keep some connections that aren't providing this level of clarity and communication available. This is feminine effectively just like working very hard to manifest this energy, even in the wake of their own setbacks and limitations. And for feminine, this could even be identifying that this is something that you need that collaborative effort on. That feminine cannot effectively do this work entirely on their own. They need that good collaborator, potentially as it relates to communication, to help them through these challenges and hurdles as they proceed forward from this point. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Two of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with our Fool card. So again, what we appreciate about this Two of Pentacles is while there may be some feelings of overwhelm that are coming to the surface today, we are seeing that they are immediately leading to new approaches, new ways of addressing circumstances or situations, leaps of faith into the unknown, but recognizing what is becoming effectively too difficult to bear and wanting to come into a point of adjustment or easement. For some, this is going to be a deeper level of integration as you set a new path forward today. For others, this is going to be putting down some burdens to come into better easement. May I please have one point of clarification, please? That is way more than one. We're going to take the top card. And potentially this, okay, we're going to take all of them actually. So what we're really seeing here is this is that moment that is really helping come into better alignment, because what we're really identifying right now is this is the recognizing of anything that doesn't feel like it is balanced, or trying to get to the heart of things that don't feel balanced at this time. There is a lot of commitment and attention that is being paid right now into what you are putting your time and energy into, but also a lot of care and attention that is being paid into what is being offered as you move forward from this point. We're seeing that both for masculine and feminine energy at this time, there is a deep level of commitment in terms of what you are trying to create at this moment. And you are looking with a lot of attention, not just in who you are working with or what you are trying to build, but whether there is that level or degree of mutual contribution into that shared level of growth and opportunity at this time. This is what is effectively freeing masculine and feminine energy at this moment. For masculine and feminine energy, it is this putting in of effort. It is this doubling into those circumstances and situations that you're trying to build for at this time that are helping to effectively free any situations or circumstances that have become too overwhelming and difficult to bear right now, with a lot of conviction as to not going back to situations and circumstances that have created too many setbacks, hurdles, and challenges at this moment. This is why we are seeing that for the masculine and feminine energy that is working in collaboration at this time, this is a lot of adjustment that is effectively being paid in terms of how you can work better moving forward, in terms of what you can contribute that is going to make things easier. Hence that Fool energy, making those points of adjustment to correct for any sense of imbalance. While for the other part of the collective right now, this is potentially work that you are putting into your own personal self and your own personal practices at this moment, recognizing that if you're not necessarily seeing that ability or degree for the energy around you to find some way to fundamentally help you in terms of building to a unified sense of work and growth right now, then that is effectively the point of imbalance. That is the issue at hand. And that is what is effectively freeing you from going back to situations and circumstances that may have become too overwhelming and too difficult at this point. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between the Hermit card in combination with our King of Wands energy. So for masculine energy right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment of a lot of heavy planning, a lot of heavy communication, and a lot of the masculine energy right now, this may be feeling like something that comes from a point of solitude right now, masculine, that you may be doing a lot of this work for yourself to try to build that path forward, try to get that point of clarity as you proceed forward from this point. While for feminine energy right now, we are really seeing that this is also a moment that is requiring you to go inwards in terms of what it is that you're truly seeking. For both masculine and feminine energy, a lot of this internal work at play right now is helping build the clarity and insight you need to take some leap of faith right now. For the masculine, this is a lot of that work that you're doing in the realms of those spaces and places that you feel that this is what's going to create those opportunities for you right now. While for feminine right now, what we're really identifying is this is a moment that, again, you are either working in collaboration with masculine energy that is helping you navigate some of these hurdles, helping you navigate some of these difficult situations or circumstances, almost providing you clarity and insight even in a moment that requires a bit of internal journeying, if you will. While for the other part of the feminine collective right now, this is you doing that work for yourself at this moment. You are seeking some point of identity. You're seeking some point of understanding. You're seeking some better level or degree of clarity around situations and circumstances from masculine energy. And it's all dependent on how articulate and forthright that energy is that is giving you the support you need at this moment to take some of that leap of faith for yourself at this time. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Judgment in its reversal. So some points of consideration that are being paid right now to decisions that may need to be recalibrated or readjusted. For both masculine and feminine energy right now, there are a lot of decisions that need to be made. Masculine energy is doing a lot of that work right now in terms of what they're receiving and what they're communicating to help them build some center or point of readjustment at this point. And it is taking a bit of this internal work for masculine at this time, getting that level or degree of insight or clarity as you proceed forward from this point. While for feminine energy right now, what we're really identifying is, again, this is a moment that you are also doing a lot of this internal journeying work inwards at this time. You are putting a lot of care and attention right now in terms of what is being communicated to you towards masculine energy at this moment, but it is taking this level or degree of reconsideration that you are paying towards what you are receiving at this time. Asking yourself at this moment, what is building that clarity? What is building that path ahead? What is providing that level of insight versus any spaces or places that you don't necessarily see that coming through to the degree or capacity that you would ideally desire right now. But what we appreciate about this is a lot of this reconsideration energy that we see is rising here is really helping you as you navigate this deeper internal journey and taking that leap of faith. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between a lot of cards right now, because what we have here is our King of Wands in combination with our Justice card in its reversal, in combination with our Ace of Pentacles and our Eight of Pentacles, our Hangman in its reversal, and our Seven of Swords in its reversal. For both masculine and feminine energy right now, there's a lot of care and consideration that you're effectively paying right now too. What feels like it is creating a supportive, conducive environment for you at this time versus anything that feels like it is creating a level or degree of imbalance. For the masculine energy at this time, this is that moment or that opportunity that we really see is coming to the surface right now that is helping you see what energy is willing to come in that way. What is showing something that it is willing to grow and build in this capacity or in this degree at this time. This is you committing your energies and efforts to that joint shared growth. While for the other part of the collective at this moment, this is that moment of recalibration. This is that moment of effectively recognizing if that is not something that is coming through, that is not something that you are seeing, that is not a point of adjustment that you're able to recognize can happen or will happen. And that is what is effectively allowing you to move away from any circumstances or situations that you feel are becoming too challenging or too difficult at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the Hierophant in its reversal. What we're really seeing and identifying right now is this is requiring some unconventional approaches to things. There could be a lot of assessment right now that is being reached in terms of how you want to conduct yourself going forward from this point. And it's requiring some degree of reconsideration in terms of any of the things in your life right now that you feel that you are bound to really ask. And this is that point of adjustment that we're seeing. Is that point of adjustment available? Is that allowing for some point of readjustment right now to help you navigate forward from this point? Or is this creating something that is not showing an ability to adapt or adjust, which may be creating some of that breaking off point that we are seeing right now that is happening with the other part of the collective? Final card coming through right now for our two cards. We have here our Eight of Swords in its reversal, which is what we really love to see, because what we're really identifying is happening right now is this is that moment for both masculine and feminine energy right now that is allowing you to feel that level of easement, wanting to come into a space or place where you feel like you are breaking down your own walls or your own limitations at this moment. For masculine and feminine, this is identifying the spaces and places that feel like they're creating this level or degree of relief for you at this time. A lot of this work has to do with some of that internal hermit energy that we're seeing right now, that deeper assessment and understanding in terms of what feels like it is empowering and supportive versus something that you are feeling is confining you to a certain degree. And it is that point of directionality that we really see both masculine and feminine moving to at this moment, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For masculine and feminine energy right now that's working on the partnerships, this is really coming through right now and recognizing the unconventional approaches that you may need to take at this time that are allowing some of these readjustments to be made. But this is for the betterment of the partnership in general, seeing the fact that this is effectively freeing you up, if you will, or giving you this degree of easement that you may not have experienced prior to this point. While for the other part of the collective right now, what we're really seeing is this is potentially, if you're not able to see this degree of adjustment, if you're not able to see this degree or capacity of allowing for some point of easement, that is what is effectively freeing you from anything that you are feeling is becoming too limiting at this time, that you feel is becoming too restrictive at this moment. And that is simultaneously a path that you're creating, again, for that betterment of the self, for that point of coming into easement as you proceed forward from that point. Effectively, that full energy taking the leap of faith for themselves at this moment. Bottom of the deck on this reading right now is 10 of Pentacles, and we love to see it because one of the things that's paying a lot of attention right now is a lot of focus and concentration on the community that's around you right now. We did see over the last few days that there was a lot of care and attention to be paid to any feelings of disharmony that were happening around circumstances and experiences at this time. But what we really appreciate about that work right now is this is that moment of deeper orientation, of deeper understanding in terms of feeling like what is working on your behalf, what feels like it is navigating you into positive spaces at this moment, versus any spaces or places that you're feeling are just creating some level or degree of chaos or uncertainty at this time. A lot of consideration being paid right now to the energy that's around you right now as you proceed forward from this point. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of a recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Please keep in mind that booking a private reading with me is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, I would like to remind you that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your DMs and tell you that I have a very special message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a private reading with me is if you book one on my website. So I encourage you to do it there. I want to thank you guys so much for being here with me today and sharing in this collective reading. And we will do this again tomorrow.